Hey,
Hey, y'all.
everybody. Welcome in. So I'm trying. I mean, I've got so much on the desk tonight to do this. I feel like it's like remember the first episode we did where we had all that stuff?
Yes.
It's kind of what I feel like I'm doing tonight. Like I have way too much on because I just can't seem to organize it because I wanted to do certain things
Okay.
because of what we had. And I wish I could hold mine up. Mine is in. Wait a minute. I'm going to get this. I'm just going to do it. I've got two pads to do it with, but I'm going to do it.
He's going to show off, y'all. That's what he's going to do.
So I'm going to pull the top off of it.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Of course, I've got the liquid all over my desk.
Of course. Look at that. Okay, hold on one second. I got to get a picture of that because that's just beautiful. You cannot not take a picture of that deliciousness.
So,
Yum.
I'm going to put it back into the crock pot. So basically, I have had this brewing all day in a slow cooker.
Okay.
Which we have this small slow cooker that we've had for ages.
Okay.
And I love doing things in it. Believe it or not, I used to do ribs into it. We used to slow cook ribs for the whole day.
Really?
Or basically you could put a pork, like a pork roast in there and let it simmer the whole day with whatever seasoning you had on. And it would be a great thing. And I thought, what better thing to do today than to put the brats in there? I chopped up some white onions.
Okay.
And I put some sauerkraut in. So how I did it is I took the onions, chopped up, and I put some of them in a pan and turned the heat up with some olive oil. Now, I did not go butter. I went olive oil with this. And then I got it up to temp, and then I put the brats in to brown them. So all I did was brown them. I did not fully cook them all the way through.
Okay. Yes, that's always nice to get a little bit. I do that with my one of my roasts that I do. I will put horseradish on it. I will brown it, and then I'll throw it in the crock pot, and it just yum.
Yeah. So now it's kind of got that pre-cooked, but then I also took all the onions and the olive oil and dumped it in. And then I stirred everything up with the sauerkraut, and I had raw onions I'd put into it, and then turned it on, and then I poured a whole beer over top of it.
Oh, that just gave it.
Yeah, it was cooking in a beer all day long. Oh, and actually, for lunch, like part of my lunch today was I grabbed some hot dogs we had, and I just pulled some of the kraut out of it and put it on my hot dog today.
There you go.
Hell that yeah.
Yum. So I was thinking, but I just had brats not that long ago for one of the podcasts, and I'd been eating it for days, so I did not want to do that, but it's so easy, and I love having the multiple mustards when I have brats. That's just fun. So what I decided to do is I decided to do schnitzel. And then, of course, what goes with schnitzel is mashed potatoes. And then, of course, another thing going with the whole Oktoberfest and fall was cabbage. But I needed some color, so I decided to go with purple cabbage. Now, I was going to braise the cabbage, but instead, I decided to pickle it. For those that are from Southern California, you might know Northwoods Inn, Clearman's Northwoods Inn. There are multiple locations in Southern California. And they have this purple cabbage that is delicious. It's a salad. And then they usually pair it with this other green salad that has blue cheese on it, which they make their own blue cheese. It does not have that strong blue cheese taste. You mix those two with a steak and a baked potato. Delicious. So food.com got me the copycat version of it. And then, of course, the schnitzel. Hey, Robert. The schnitzel recipe, I got it from my neighbor, my chef. And then, of course, mashed potatoes is mashed potatoes. But the schnitzel, normally you get a tenderloin, and there are a variety of different schnitzel depending on where you're at. If you're in Austria, you're going to look at veal. If you're in Germany, you're going to go with pork. You can also do it with meat or chicken, but pork is the way to go for the most part, is what you're going to find across the board.
I forgot one thing. While you keep going, I'll be right back. I forgot something.
So what y'all do is you have to get a pork tenderloin, and it is the pork tenderloin not the pork loin. 2 different parts of the pig. They do not taste the same. The texture is different. And so make sure that you get the tenderloin, which you're going to be glad you did, even though it's probably twice the cost of it. I got, and you get 2 usually in a pack. So it was about $12. Froze one of them, made the other one. So then what you do is that you slice the pork tenderloin. You then put it between saran wrap, plastic wrap, whatever you want to use. And then if you have a mallet, I use just like one of my, I'll show you what I use. I don't have a mallet, so I just use this one. It's, it's pretty sturdy, so I'm smack, 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 and until it flattens. Well, when it flattens, it expands. Then I seasoned it, salt, pepper, garlic. You put it into flour. Then you dip it into an egg and milk mixture. And then you put it into cracker meal. Essentially, get crackers, crack them up, just put them in between in a bag and just smash them. Either I use a roll pan. You can also use one of these. But it was the the Clubhouse crackers. So these were the crackers that I used. So I went from this to that. So it's just ground down crackers. And then you heat up some oil and you just fry it for a couple of minutes each side. And here is your schnitzel with the mashed potatoes and the pickled cabbage salad. So that was mine. So what beer did you get?
So in beers, we decided kind of sticking to our Texas type theme. I had one sitting when we discussed the idea of doing Oktoberfest last week. I had one sitting inside of our inside my refrigerator that I knew was a German style beer, and it is a Texas beer. It is Ziegenbock from Texas.
Okay.
And this one here is a German, a Texas twist on a German classic. So that was one I had. I knew when we were talking about this, and I thought Ziegenbock would be a good one. I haven't had a Ziegenbock in a long time. All right. And then I went to, I know they make this every year, and I don't know whether it's out all the time or but I know they have it. Texas' oldest craft brewery is St. Arnold's, and St. Arnold's does an Oktoberfest beer. So I'm like, I want to do that Oktoberfest, and I'm going to do it in smaller batches, but that, and then my foods I've got was, like I said, what I did in there, but I've also got a Bavarian pretzel. I have 4 different kinds of mustards. Not sure which one mustard I'm going to put on. So I have first of all, I have the Dijon mustard, which is a Kroger brand. I have a Kroger brand stone ground mustard, which is what I usually have on my pretzels.
Yeah.
I have a regular yellow mustard.
Of course, you have to. That's a must-have.
And then I have one spicy brown mustard.
Ooh, fun.
So, and then I was like, I really wanted to tweak this up, but I wanted to do the idea behind Oktoberfest and like the foods, the brats. And I went with, just traditional beer brats. I did not get, I got beer brats, Kroger brand beer brats. They come in a 5-pack, and I literally put all 5 of them in here with this. But what would make it Texas-y is I can actually take, and I've cut up one of my brats on the cutting board I have here. And now I'm going to make it into a burrito.
Love it.
Because I did get me some good flour tortillas.
Yeah, you got to. That's important.
Yep. Just going to put it all together here, because that's why I left it all here. I can make it all right here from the desk.
Right. And that way you'll have a messy desk that you'll have to clean up tomorrow, but that's okay.
I still am going to have a messy desk I'll clean up tomorrow. Because one of the things I didn't do was I probably could have drained some of, before bringing it in, I could have drained some of the liquid out of this, right? Because I really don't need that much liquid. But, so this is what it would look like inside here. Do I put mustard in or not? Do I try it with or without? I don't know. It's like, got to try it without first.
What I would do is that I would just add, I would then add the mustard as I go. That is my thought, because then you can switch it up. So there is history of Oktoberfest, which I think we've talked about before. It originated in Munich back in 1810 for the royal wedding celebration of Crown Prince Ludwig and Princess Teresa. And the event had horse races and public festivities. And there was these fields known as Teresa's Meadow. And so it became very popular that it became a tradition. And over time, the festival evolved to include beer tents, amusement park rides, agriculture shows. And so it became the world's largest beer festival and a significant cultural event. And so that's where it originally started. And then it just evolved from there. Then, of course, grand horse racing became a popular event that had the concluded with the festivities. And then it was just repeated every October. And it did start to, it was 1811 where it started to be added, the agriculture show. And then, of course, the beer and entertainment. And then it became a global phenomenon where it's drawing millions of visitors and inspiring similar celebrations worldwide. So it is a major culture export of Bavaria, celebrating the food, the music, and the iconic beers. That's the biggest thing. So that's where Oktoberfest is all about. And you might have had some Oktoberfest festivities. And Oregon is one where there's so many breweries here. A lot of them are doing a lot of things. And I didn't have a chance to actually go out and get an Oktoberfest beer. I didn't even look for it when I was at my last run at Breakside. I looked at all the stuff, but I didn't see anything October, so it didn't dawn on me to ask, which is fine. They may have had it bottled. So now the schnitzel, that's another history. Because schnitzel has been around since ancient Rome, the Middle East. And of course, like most everything, there's always a debate as to where it started and where it was from. But the dish was popularized in Vienna as the Wiener Schnitzel. But it's been slightly different depending on the culture. So Austria versus Germany, you're going to have different meats, like I mentioned. But it really, truly is. The concept is all about tenderizing the meat by pounding it and then frying it in breadcrumbs, or a lot of them use cracker meal or crackers. So when we look at some of the writings out there, there was something similar back in Rome. So it has been around for a while, and then in the Middle East in the 12th century. And then the 15th century for Venice. So it has been around. And there have been some false legends out there which have been debunked. But really, it's the breaded veal cuts originated in Germany and Austria. And the term Wiener Schnitzel became popular later on in the 19th century. So it was very specific. So in Germany and Austria, the dish is made with various meats, including pork, chicken, and beef. And then depending on where you're at, some of them will have a mushroom sauce, others will have a bell pepper sauce. But truly, it has a global appeal. But especially in German American restaurants, you will find it. There is one restaurant that just makes a schnitzel that's absolutely delicious. Mount Angel here in Oregon, it's about an hour and a bit away. They have the whole little German town, and I was going to go there. The only thing is that I was afraid that I wouldn't have good Wi-Fi, and so I opted not to go. So that's why I decided to make it here. So I made this decision. All of this was prepared yesterday because there is no way I would have gotten all this done today in an hour.
No.
But what I went with was Zeiglauhausen. And this is a German style Pilsner.
Yeah.
That one. And there was another one, Occidental, also makes a German style that I found only for the price of $11.99 for a 4-pack. And then this one was a 6-pack at $13.99. I went with the 6-pack. But they have this particular, and this is Portland. They are in Portland. I think it was Southeast Portland when I looked them up. Southeast 82nd. So that if you're in the Portland metro area, go look for them. They have food, the whole thing. But they have, the inspiration came from the tradition of Bavarian villages. And so that was where it all came from. And it was the worst. It was brewed in a shared community and then fermented and served in people's homes. So it was a form of connecting people, hospitality, and deep respect for the craft. So when they visited these little villages, they said we have to do this. So that's where the vision came from. So it's all about togetherness and tradition here in Southeast Portland. And we have the 6 points of the star is it's a historic brewery, and it's here. It's right in there. That symbolizes the signaling of where home is, and then open to the public. So I thought that was kind of cool. And they do have food, and now the beer. This particular one is a German malt. Overall, they brew their beer with imported German malt, hops, and yeast. So that's why the majority of theirs are German style beers. But they mix things up and they do other things. But sometimes they will put it in stainless steel. Sometimes they'll age it in bourbon or oak barrels. But it's all about heart and just adventure. And it was cute because they said they had this tagline that said, "Home is where the beer ferments." So I thought that was kind of fun. So this particular Pilsner, it's 4.8 alcohol by volume, and it is their German trained brewmaster loves brewing according to German tradition. And again, I am drinking German malts, hops, and yeast for this gold medal winning Pilsner. And of all the Pilsner subtypes, the one brewed in northern Germany is the driest and crispest with the bold hop characteristic. So when they made this, they're looking at a spice and some snappy hop flavors and aromas that you can find in a Pilsner. So that's what I decided to go with.
So I've tried two different mustards, and I have my two different beers.
Okay.
Ziegenbach is just it's a great beer. It's a great German style beer.
And did it go well with your brat?
Actually, the St. Arnold's goes better. They both are very similar in taste, but there's just something about the way the St. Arnold's rolls onto it, I guess. I don't know. I've tried it with two different kinds of mustard. I'm going to throw the third in there to go through and see. But I picked up a potato salad today while I was at the store at Sprouts.
All right.
Figured I'd put a good dill potato salad in with this. Because I really was not going to do like a mashed potatoes or something like that. Personally, I would love to do potato pancakes, but that will be another show that sometime I will do a potato pancake.
I haven't made a potato pancake in a long time.
Have we done them on the show? I don't remember.
I
don't think we've done them on the show. But they're same. I mean, same area of the world they kind of come from, and it's just stuff that I grew up as a kid having, and I thought everybody did, but I guess they didn't.
I did not grow up with potato pancakes. I had them when I was in my 20s. I guess is the first time I had a potato pancake.
I never really had brats until I was in my 20s.
20s or 30s is when I had brats. So the other thing that I did with one of the two schnitzels here, on one of them I threw a little bit of lemon juice on top.
Yeah.
So I want to see if there's a difference in the taste. So I have to try the one without the lemon. I'm gonna do 2 bites. But having that pickled cabbage it's made with red wine vinegar, vegetable oil, sugar. Oh, what else did I put in there? I'm sure I put salt.
Grab my spices.
Yeah.
Needs a little bit of salt and pepper. Anyway.
Well, one of the things that I didn't do yesterday, which I had to laugh, I didn't put any spice on my schnitzel.
Yeah.
And the moment I took a bite, I'm like, it needs salt. So I added salt to it after the fact. And I was laughing that I didn't put salt on it, but with today I put salt, pepper, and garlic on my schnitzel before I put it into the flour. Now, there's times that I do add my spices into the flour, and then I flour whatever it is that I'm cooking. This time I decided to do it separately and then just dab it into the flour.
I don't know. The potato salad isn't really going with the brand here I have. It is a red potato salad with dill. So,
oh, interesting.
probably should have gone with a mustard.
That the dill would go well. So here's my cabbage salad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to add a little bit more because I've been eating it. It's really delicious. It really is. And if I would have done the braised cabbage, usually they use green cabbage instead of red for the braised one, and it's in butter.
Yeah.
It would have been warm, but I didn't want to use green because I wanted color on my plate. I'm all about, you got to have a balance of color in what you eat. And just having another pale, color on my plate, I thought that was a little too boring. So I decided to go with this one. And I also chose to go with a different style of salad, doing it into a pickling instead of doing it braised. So this one, it should sit for at least 2 hours. I did it overnight because I did it, I guess at this point, 12 hours ago.
Wow. I'm so. My potato salad may not be that. The pretzel's kind of a little bit cold.
Pretzels get
My
cold.
burrito, but my burrito here with this brat and sauerkraut is just to die for.
I'm gonna have to try that one of these days because I've never had a brat in a tortilla.
No, we usually would have them on buns, but I decided I didn't want to do buns today. What's more Texas than a tortilla?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having a Texas Oktoberfest.
Unless you're using Texas toast, the best for French toast. So
yeah, but I can't see
one,
rolling a piece of toast, that Texas toast up to put a brat in.
Right, that's a lot of bread. That is a lot of bread. I actually, with or without the lemon, they're both pretty good. I think I like the lemon a little bit better, just because of the vinegar part of the cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, it tasted just a little bit better, and it also brought up a little bit of the spicy flavor of the German style Pilsner. And when you cut the cabbage, what I did is that I kept like moving the cabbage in order to get it nicely thin. There were some pieces that are a little bit thicker, and I try to pull them out, but there's still quite a few. And most of the time I go back and I chop. I didn't do that this time. I was tired.
Oh.
But the other thing that I did that you noticed on my plate is that I had the schnitzel on this side and I had the cabbage on the other.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want my schnitzel to get cold because of the cabbage. It would have gone cold very quickly. My potatoes that can handle the cold, but my schnitzel would have just gone cold very quickly.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. So I'm pretty happy. This is the first time I made schnitzel. So, and I have made this purple salad before. It's been a while, but this with the green salad with blue cheese dressing with a steak and a potato. Ooh, that is one delicious lunch because I usually would have it for lunch.
Isn't it funny that it comes down to the roots of what you really like?
Mm-hmm.
It's a steak and potato.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Steak and potato with a little bit of a side of something. In this case, some salads.
Yeah. Then I thought about doing different cabbage salads and stuff, but I'm like, I just wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this interesting thing because I love using the slow cooker, but it didn't give me the smell in the house I was expecting all day.
Oh, did you want it to smell vinegary from the sauerkraut, or did you want the smell of the brats and make it smell like you were at Wiener Schnitzel, with all the...
I wanted that aroma to go all the way from the kitchen into my office here. And you've been here. It's not that far apart.
And I wanted to use the stein because I thought that's kind of fun, with the divots in there. It just gives it a different flavor. I did have my my regular, pint glass, but I just wanted to make it fun this time. This cabbage is so yum.
Growing up, this is food I would have went ew to.
Really?
No, I mean cabbage. I wanted growing up. I wanted a hamburger and French fries, which I could do a hamburger and French fries podcast, and I probably could eat 1,000,000 different hamburgers, 52 different hamburgers a year. That's just me.
Oh, burger's always fun. Yeah, burgers are fun. You can do a lot with the burger. I actually almost bought some burger patties, and I'm like, but there was 8 patties in this package, and I'm like, I'm not going to eat 8 burgers this week. So I didn't buy them.
I usually find burgers I want that they'll have at the store. And I come home and take them out, and if they're in a packet, I'll take them out and I'll freeze them individually.
Okay. Oh, individually. Okay.
I put them in individual
Ziploc,
like individual like Ziploc bags. Freeze them and pull them out. I'm not, for the most part, I'm not in the habit of buying hamburgers or patties already made.
Yeah, I like to mix my own burgers, but if I can get an Angus burger patty on sale, I know I'm going to get something good there. But I still like to make my own little mix of stuff and season it. So I know that you said which one was the beer that you liked the most, but did you like it just because of the flavor, or did you like the way that it paired with your brat?
I think this one paired better with the brats. And really, if you look at them, they're both very similar in color.
Right. Okay.
There's not a big difference in color.
Hold it. I want a picture of that.
Of course, I'm using my regular drinking glasses to put them in tonight, but still, I want to be able to show it off.
Okay. They
both, when you pour them, I was unable to avoid getting a head on it. The Ziegenbach head lasted longer.
Okay.
And that's the one I don't like. But I'm going to take some again now.
You got to try it. Sometimes it's just a different bite. So do you think if you drink it with something different, a different type of food, do you think it would be better? Or is it just kind of
The flavor's there. Here's the difference. This is made for the everyday palate. This is the people who don't drink coffee and beer like you and I do.
Okay.
Ziegenbach.
Okay.
This is the people you and I hang around with. They flavor. This has got a much more punch of flavor to it. It's more robust in flavor. The taste is not any different between the two. Just this one here is a little more robust. And let's face it, I want something that's going to give me a punch. I mean, I want some flavor to punch me when I eat something or drink something. I don't want it to be faintly in the background. And this taste is like same flavor, but it's faintly in the background.
Okay.
All right. It's like a watered down version of this. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that sometimes you drink something, it's kind of that you want the flavor. I tried a different beer at Breakside this weekend, and I didn't end up ordering it for me. I got to taste it. It was a darker beer, but it wasn't like in your face. It was just, it had flavor, it had depth, but it wasn't like shoved in your face, because a lot of stouts, they're a little bit stronger. I mean, I could sip a stout for hour and a half, because it's just strong. This one was just a little bit more easygoing. It's almost like a stout would normally be like a Cab or a Zinfandel. This was more like a Merlot, a little bit more mellow. It was dark, but a little bit more mellow, more approachable. I was like, it would still take me an hour to sip on it, but a lot more, that easy to drink. And I was like, okay, that's not too bad, because it still had depth and flavor to it. I want that flavor. I want that depth. I want to feel that I'm tasting something and not just drinking a beer.
So we went to a place. So we were coming back from the rental property on Saturday, and we were going to go to that Armor Brewery, which you and I went to, and they were having some sort of event. When we pulled up the street and there were cars lined up the street, we're like, okay, not for us. We're in work clothes. We're not going into an event. So we went looking, and we went, the first bar we walked in, I'm like, this place is too fucking dingy. We are not staying here. I'm spoiled. I go to a bar. I'm not just going there to sit and drink. Pour me what's on tap, Sam, Woody, whatever. Right. No, I want an experience. So there's a restaurant that we used to go to a lot when we were with the biker group up in that area. It's in Allen, Texas. It was called Two Rows. It's like a pizzeria, 2 rows. Yeah. And we walk in, we sit down, I'm figuring, well, this is going to be good enough. It's almost like a Chili's, I felt, but it was pizzeria. We go in and we sit down, we look at the menu, and we're like, oh my God, there's no alcohol on this menu. What are we going to do? So then we asked the bartender, or we asked the server, do you guys serve alcohol? And they're like, oh yeah, we have a whole bar. Right. And like, you look to the corner, okay, there's this whole closed-in thing, but the door's open and you can't read. You have to look at this Hennessy bar and grill. So basically they bring on a beer and an alcohol menu, and they have a
is it a full book? Pages of book?
No, well, no, it wasn't a book. It was a typical small menu, but it had for you to get a sampler, what do they call it? A flight of their beers.
Ooh.
They have, that. I'm jumping at that. You know me. I'm jumping at that.
Yeah.
All right. If they had their own whiskeys, I'm jumping at a flight of their whiskeys. That's just me. If you got something that's yours, I want to do the tasting, baby. Yep. Hit me up. So it came out. It had a blonde, and I literally did a tasting right down the row. Had a blonde, really decent blonde, a Hefeweizen. Oh my God, it was the best beer they have. Then they had an amber. Then they had a red. Then they had an IPA. Oh. Then to top it off, they give you 2 extra bonuses. You ready for this?
2.
And one of them, and one of them is theirs, and that is their own cream soda.
Oh, fun!
And then at the end of it is a partnership they have with a root beer.
Okay.
So it's like you have your beers, but to me, like, the root beer is like, we didn't finish the root beer, but the cream soda is like dessert.
Right.
And they make it themselves. It's made in-house.
Well, I'm part of this. I have a membership with Do More PDX. I think Do More is across the U.S., but this one's particular for Portland. And I've gone to one show before, and then I had another show for this Saturday, and it was the Banshee. Let me look it up, because I'm going to mess up his name. So the opening act was Benny Seidlinger, and he's local. And then Banshee Tree, they're from Colorado. I think that's what it is. Oh my goodness, the first band was just great to begin with. It was a 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. So it was the drummer, the violin player, the female that also played the banjo. They had a bass, and then they had the main singer, Benny, and they were really good. Well, then they took a break so that way a Banshee Tree could come on. And they had such a different vibe. I mean, they were kind of jazzy, kind of techno-y, kind of just, kick your feet up and want to dance. They did such a great job. The venue had that feel. It was at the Showdown in Southeast Portland. For those in the Portland metro area, it's diagonal from the Aladdin past the Ross Island Bridge. And this place is... it has that feel of a saloon. So it has that, kind of saloon feel. All the chairs are like wood, not very comfortable. Then they have a back area, and that's just, nothing fancy schmancy. But they had an old style upright piano, which one of the guys ended up playing, and the other guy was singing, and they sounded kind of 1920 something. It was just such a fun event. There was an eclectic group of people. You had the ones wearing jeans and t-shirts, to the ones, wearing cute little outfits and, the hair done and the makeup. And it was just like this really nice mix of people in this, what would be like this Western bar. And that was a lot of fun. I'm like, hey, I'm comfortable here. It was a good event. So sometimes finding those hole in the wall places, because it's like, oh, try something new. Sometimes we have to try something new. We don't have to go back to it if we don't like. We don't even have to stay there that day. But if we try something new, then we know, hey, try again.
I like it or I don't like it. Yeah.
I don't have to come back if I don't want to, and I don't have to stay either. So It was fun. It was fun. So yeah, that's the Showdown. So that was kind of fun. Like when you're talking about your place, it's like, it reminded me that I'm like, oh my goodness, this was good times.
Yeah, because usually we do Saturday night date night, but because we had to go to the rental property to do some work. Yeah. And on the way home, I'm like, honey, why don't we just stop and have a lunch out?
Yeah. So, yes. You
you
got to mix it up a little. Mix it up.
Yeah.
Make it fun.
So
that's what I have, and that's why I picked what I picked. I had fun making this schnitzel. Was there a Wiener Schnitzel where you grew up?
Yeah.
I remember.
But there was a Wiener Schnitzel where I grew up, and it was like it was a fast food hot dog place.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm making sure we're talking about the same Wiener Schnitzel here because, all right, it was a fast food hot dog place. However, here in Dallas, we have now it's Chicago, Portillo's, which is hot dogs.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you guys have that out there yet. The first time we ever had these was Chicago. All right. We went to one of their stores in Chicago and had a blast at it because there's like all kinds of flavors that you can get on different hot dogs. Well, they have these stores here now. They opened one in the Colony near where I have my networking group.
Okay.
Well, then they got so popular, they opened up one in McKinney. They opened up one in Denton. All right. They're opening them up everywhere now because the one was so popular, they couldn't sustain the traffic. So it's kind of like when In-N-Out Burger came here. Yeah. When In-N-Out Burger came here, it was so different from what we were used to in Dallas that we had three locations. And literally, you'd have to stand in line for 40 minutes to place your order and then wait another 30 to get your order.
Oh, that's slow. Here, even if you wait however long, you have your food within like 10, maybe 15 minutes at most.
This is only when they open. Now it's a lot faster. Now you walk in and you're like second in line at most. All right. But back then, when they first came here, it was a line, right? And I think that's what happens when you take something that is a local favorite and you move it to another location. Like I know down here we have Whataburger. And Whataburger is a huge Texas hamburger joint. And like there's certain things on their menu I like. I'm not a Whataburger, you know what I mean, guru fan, but I do like I don't hate them. I've never had anything bad there, right?
Yeah,
It's just
it's not that I
my
hate,
cup of
but
tea.
I prefer an In-N-Out. So when the Texas peeps would go to LA, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, Whataburger. And we're like going, nope, In-N-Out was better. And then they opened up In-N-Out, which is funny. So when I was getting into Dallas this last trip, I was like, oh my goodness, there's an In-N-Out. And then there was another In-N-Out closer to where I was staying at. And we ended up going to the dinners. And I said, they're like, what are we going to do tomorrow? I said, if it were up to me, I said, I'd go to In-N-Out. That would be my choice. So if I have a vote, In-N-Out. I don't need to go to a fancy schmancy restaurant. Well, we went to
that In-N-Out near your hotel. I've been to that In-N-Out more times than you want to know because I used to live down there. When that opened. Yeah.
Well, when I ran on Thursday morning, and I see it, I'm like running, and of course I already knew where it was. I already knew how far away it was, how long it would take me to walk there. So I'm running, and I'm going, oh, I just have to cross over, but I don't think they were open that early. It was, 7 in the morning. But I was like, In-N-Out, I'm going to have you before I leave. And then of course I got a ride and we ended up at another fancy schmancy restaurant. I'm like, I told them, I said, I'll be happy doing, In-N-Out, just drop me off. I'll get my burger and then I'll take an Uber to my hotel. Or to my, to the airport. No. Well, I still took an Uber from where I was at because I was going out of DFW and they were going out of Dallas Love.
Yeah.
So we weren't even going to the same airport.
I will say when it comes to, when it comes to burgers and food, when you see them around the country, and that, like I said, that's the unique thing is In-N-Out was a California burger place. However, it is a unique experience to go to. Now it comes to our state, it becomes a unique experience, right? At first.
Yeah.
Right. It's when it becomes monotonous, it's no longer as good.
Well, the interesting thing is that in LA, when I was in Laverne, there was always a wait. So if anybody was taking a day off, our responsibility was to get In-N-Out for everybody else who was part of our group and then bring it over to drop off lunch because there was always a wait. The Kaiser, which is half hour, 20 minutes from where I'm at, there's always a wait. Cars are waiting. If you go inside, there's less of a wait. But if you're in the drive-thru, there's a longer wait, and there's always a wait, like always.
But then you go to other things like the Portillo's hot dog stand. Now, another unique that came to Texas, all right. But now you're down here, a lot of the barbecue joints that are down here when they spread out around the country. I remember going to a Dickey's barbecue when I was in like Ohio or something.
Okay.
And up there, everybody's like, "Oh, wow, Dickey's," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the so-so one back home, right?"
Right.
But that's the uniqueness that we have, and that's the greater part about fast food is when you find the uniqueness, like we're doing tonight with I got St. Arnold's, and by the way, the can's empty. By the way, that's all that's left. But that's where you find your uniqueness. Yep. All right. I'd like to sit there and tell you, well, I'm a Texas boy and I only eat Texas food. Fuck no, man. No, I go to a good, like the Italian joint around the corner from us here.
Yes.
All right. They have, to me now, my favorite linguine and white clam sauce. All right.
That was so
Growing
cool
up, it was a pizza place in Northeast that I loved that had it. Yeah.
And now here, the last time after I went, you said, "Hey, could you do a review?" And I did. I posted some pictures. I've had over 1,000 views of my review. I got an email telling me, "Hey, thanks for the review." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I never would even have thought that my little review would get 1,000 views."
Maybe it's because we do it for a show called Like the Way You Drink.
And we put it out
there.
We're
famous now. You know that, right? We're the most famous podcast on the planet.
Just saying, y'all.
To which all of our listeners went, well, all right, we're done. Bye. Yeah.
Kind of like the world famous K-Rock in LA. They're 106.7 KROQ, world famous. And so they always poke fun of themselves. They're like, they wanted to be number 2 radio station. They didn't want to be number 1. They're like, too much pressure to be number 1. We're going to be number 2. But then they're like, oh, we're real famous. So they'll call like a restaurant in Germany And then it's like, have you heard of us? We're K-Rock. They're like, who? And they're like, you've not heard of us? So they will call different countries to try to see if we truly are. K-Rock is truly world famous around the world. So in our mind,
that gave me an idea. I don't want to be the number 1 podcast. We're going to be the number 3 drinking podcast.
There you go. I will take number 3. Yeah, so long as we podium, that's my thing. Am I on the podium?
We still made it to the podium. We're number 3. We got to start promoting that now. We got to get Jackie to start promoting that for us. The number 3 drinking podcast.
There you go. Oh, this is fun. You know what? My food is gone. All of it. All gone.
Mine too.
Gone.
So, no, I still have a crock pot over here, but I have to save some for the family. But anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, all right, tonight's been a fun night. We did a great episode tonight on Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is something that's celebrated every year. Where's my notes? You have your notes onto it. It's celebrated every year. There's certain dates it goes between.
Oh yeah, I didn't get the dates. Originally it was October.
It's like the last week of September into the first 2 weeks of October. So and it's called Oktoberfest. And there's many communities around the country as well as around the world that have an Oktoberfest celebration. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to sit there and go, mine's the best. No, mine's the number 3. All right. Ours is number 3. Gladys's might be number 2. All right. But, anyway, go check them out because it is an experience.
Got it. September 19th through October 4th.
Yep. My point is go check them out.
Yeah, that's Munich. Yeah. But the Orange County World Beer Garden Oktoberfest, they're September 7th through November 9th. So they're at the Orange County. So they're going long.
They're trying to be number 2.
Yeah.
So, they're just trying to be number 2.
They try too hard.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's an experience. That's why we want to have it on the podcast. Oktoberfest, look it up. All right, experience it in your town because it's not just a drink. It's not just the food. Sometimes it's the festivities, all right, the activities that go along with it. Now, we don't do all the activities on the show here. We just do the eating and the drinking part, all right? Yep. But go experience it because you're not going to have just one recipe. Just like tonight, we had 2 different recipes. You're going to have so many different recipes, so many different beers, all right? It is truly an experience to experience. So
check it out. Try it out. If you don't like one thing, go on to the next.
Move. Yeah. Anyway, this podcast every week is brought to you, ladies and gentlemen, by Gladys's company as well as mine. And I put a little QR code up in the corner in case you haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen. That QR code will take you to our website. Please subscribe to our podcast. All right. It'll give you the places to do it there. All right. Join our VIP Insiders Club there. All right. Everything's there on that QR code. Other than that, and we will actually have the spots on there. Eventually, we'll have a link to both Gladys and I's businesses on there. But working on that. Web guy's been busy. What can I say? Gladys, tell them about your business.
So I'm Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design, helping employers become employers of choice through employee benefits. If you have a business and you have employees, how are you showing them how much you care? Because guess what? You take care of your employees, the employees will take care of your clients. Your clients will stay, which will mean revenue stays. They will get referrals for you, which means your revenue will grow. So take care of your staff. If you're not sure, how can I provide benefits and what does all this mean? Let's start the conversation. Go to my calendar. Go to enrollnoworegon.com, and that will take you to my calendar. Yes, my next 3 weeks are like mainly booked. I have a few spots this week, and then I'm going to be unavailable, and then my crazy open enrollment time comes. But if you're on my calendar, that's your time. So enrollnoworegon.com. Let's get that conversation going. Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. And this is my co-host.
Hi, guys. Tim Gillette, Simply Z websites. I create websites for the small business, the entrepreneur, and the solopreneur to help them get more leads online. So if your website is not generating leads for you, then it's just a very expensive business card. We need to fix that. You want to find out more about how you can fix it, go to simplyzwebsites.com. I've got some great tools there you can download and figure out for yourself, or you can book an appointment with us to actually review your website, give you some pointers on how to fix it. And if you find out that it's too much work to fix it, we can do it for you. Just saying. We're out there and able to do it. simplyzwebsites.com. With that, should we tell them that we're going to be on a vacation for a few weeks?
Yes, so I am going to be taking a little time off, y'all. I have races to go to. I'm not going to be in front of. I might be on Wi-Fi, but with the time difference, it's going to be a little hard. So the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, next 3 Mondays, because the first one I fly out, and then the last one I fly back, and so it's going to be hard too. It's going to be hard.
So the next 3 Mondays, you will see replay shows. You won't see us live. All right, but by all means, you know, watch them. All right, we will be back with some new material in November. And in the meantime, guys, all right, you know, every now and then we got to take a break. We're going to take one for the rest of October, and we'll be back in November with a new set of shows after Gladys is done with her vacation and work. So anyway, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, it has been great sharing Oktoberfest with you. See you next time. Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.